Can Pharmaniaga be saved? Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera certainly thinks so. LTAT CEO Ashraf Matrazi even calls Pharmaniaga a gem. But it may be hard to believe given the very public fall from grace that Pharmaniaga has experienced. Currently in financial trouble as a result of failing to sell 552.3 million worth of Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines that it had stocked up on during the pandemic, Pharmaniaga was eventually classified as a PN17 company. However, there now appears to be light at the end of the tunnel.
So Pharmaniaga itself has planned a regularization plan. This comprises of three components. One, a 300 million private placement. Secondly, a 353 million rights issue. And third, a capital reduction exercise. So the private placement and the rights issue is to raise capital. The third component, the capital reduction, is to cut down on the share capital, which will be then used to credit into the accumulated losses to turn into retained earnings. Yes, it is expected for a new shareholder to come in because the private placement represents a 30% stake of the enlarged share base, and thus it is expected that whoever comes in, whoever purchases or whoever subscribes to the placement shares will have at least a 5% stake, which will make them a substantial shareholder. So the chief executive, Encik Muhammad Ashraf, did not disclose or specify who this substantial shareholder will be because the details behind the placement has yet to be firmed up. It's targeted to be firmed up by June this year.
From the proceeds, part of it will be used by Pharmaniaga to dig itself out of the 1 billion ringgit debt hole that it is currently in. But the other part of it will be used to fund its aspirations of becoming a local producer for insulin and vaccines. As Ashraf points out, the main silver lining to come out of the whole COVID-19 vaccine debacle is that it allowed Pharmaniaga to cultivate the expertise and know-how of handling fill and finishing. Essentially, its path to redemption.
They already have an insulin and vaccine plant in Puchong, which is already operating, and they plan to expand on this by developing their own insulin and vaccines. And they also, in the future, going forward, once they have the house in order in Malaysia, they plan to turn their eyes towards Indonesia. They already have operations in Indonesia, but they plan to expand it even more. Encik Ashraf pointed out that while Malaysia does have a local insulin producer, they produce mostly for the foreign markets. So this producer exports out. We don't have our own stable supply of insulin locally. So if LTAT thinks that if Pharmaniaga can fill in this vacancy in the market, that they can capitalize on this and it can be a catalyst for them to push forward on their growth.